Good morning. Morning, Momentum Trader. Looks like our scanners are not looking too hot right now. Morning, Ben. I'm not seeing too much. So, I have a missed opportunities tally on the side here. I had four misses yesterday, according to my strategy. We're going to keep tallying every single day. Every time I miss a trade, it goes in the tally. We're going to see how big it gets before I can finally turn myself around. Hopefully not very big. Morning, Goku. Look like we have 7 a.m. news off the bat here. I guess we're just waiting for a little while. So if something were to suddenly pop, what would it be? INLF is our top leading gainer. That doesn't have any news. It is a Chinese stock, so might have some descending resistance. Hey, Lauren. This is also from previous day. Thanks, Kingman. Yeah, that was one of my rambling videos. It wasn't structured. It was just kind of me sitting in front of a camera and doing some rambling. I'll do more structured videos when I'm a bit a bit more profitable. I have a problem with making educational content in the fact that if I'm not profitable, then how can I teach others, right? I'm okay with kind of rambling on stream and answering how I understand things now, but making a formal video means actually presenting it to the world and a little bit different. Morning, Grace. Good luck to everyone today. Yeah, happy trading. Hey Tig. So kind of rejected off of VWAP there. May fortune favor the foolish. Well, you know what's interesting? In that book that I read, in Trading in the Zone, he talks about how there's a lot of traders who can go on winning streaks, just knowing nothing about the market when they first come in, and then they get overconfident. They eventually lose money, right? But it's that foolish part when you first start trading that you kind of have that optimism in your mind, like, oh, I'll just do stuff and it works out. And then as you start learning about trading, the more you know, the more you get inside your own head about certain things. That's that beginner's luck type of thing. How to trade from work. Does your work allow you to bring in a laptop? Like my dad is an engineer, and he like brings his iPad all the time. I don't know if you can trade on an iPad. I've never tried it. You could probably attach a keyboard to it, and maybe like a secondary, like a portable monitor, like an iPad or a small laptop or something. But he runs the boiler room and stuff at his work, and a lot of times he's not really doing too much. He's just monitoring it and then occasionally doing some stuff, but he's got a lot of downtime. Not sure how similar your work might be to that. Hopefully green center. We all hope for green. Oh yeah, that's no good. Although if you have a long cycle time and you're just sitting around doing nothing, don't I'm not sure why they would frown on you doing other stuff in the meantime, as long as you're doing your job. But I guess that's just manager culture. And it's a little bit tough to trade on a phone. I'm just sitting tight here. There's nothing interesting. We're waiting for the market to present us an opportunity. SNDQ popped off again yesterday from 32 all the way up to 47. Things up 1,500% in the last few days. DFNS also popped off yesterday, breaking the highs, going all the way up to 21. We are near the highs here again, but I'm thinking this is a bit too expensive. Very light on volume right now. Yeah, I like that book. It was very good. I'd recommend it. Trading's like holding onto a spinning top. You can hold on, some get thrown off. Yeah, I agree. The longer you hold on, the higher chances you get of being able to deal with or learning to deal with the nausea as you're spinning around on the top. And then you'll be fine. LVWR also popped off all the way up to 350. Yeah, I think so. Like DFNS might pop up here as it's breaking through this pivot, go back to high of day, but I think it's too expensive for me. I changed my horizontal lines from yellow to blue. I'm not sure which one looks better on stream. Morning, Vito. No, I would say it wouldn't be worth a damn thing because you can never promise to be green every day. I don't think even the best strategies can promise that, being green every single day. Sounds like a fool's promise. Morning, adversary. Let's see. Nope, it says 1776 right now. For me, for trade zero. Well, Vito posted a video in the Day Traders Hangout and WAP video about identifying scammers. And it's definitely one of the telltale signs of a scammer. They're telling you that you're going to have a 90% accuracy or you're going to win every day or whatever. You're going to become a millionaire. Well, this is popping up over that pivot there. It's only up 18% of a day, though. Not sure if it's obvious to traders. That's a good mentality to have, Grace. I was kind of aware of the scammers in the social media space to begin with because I'm regularly online for a long time, even before I started trading. I was a gamer for a long time and a competitive gamer with my friend. So I'm aware of the kind of shitty people you can find online. So when I first found trading, I had to make sure that the people I were listening to were legit. That was one of my first requirements, but not everyone kind of realizes that right away if they're not regularly online. Or maybe they just they don't ever think about it, but there's a lot of shitty people. We did start with World of Warcraft, but then we went to FPS and Warzone and Overwatch. So like Warzone, Overwatch, Call of Duty, and some Apex Legends. And then we went back to WoW. We played Delta Force when it first came out, but I don't think we really liked it that much. Okay. From what I remember of Delta Force, it was just a lot of like a tunnel fighting because at the time we were playing kind of the Battlefield version, Delta Force. It was just a lot of like choke point tunnels and stuff, and people dying, throwing grenades and crap. I don't know. It wasn't that good. Really like it too much. But at that time, when we were playing Delta Force, we were also kind of at the end of FPS because were having a lot of issues with all the cheaters and the matchmaking and whatever. Like, it may be hard to believe, but my friend was one of the top aim trainers in the world, and he was really, really into FPS, but he kept getting banned from Overwatch for no reason. Like he tried reaching out to them and saying like you can literally come to my house and check my PC and I'm not cheating, but they still banned him and they gave no recourse for his accounts. He was so good that he kept making new Overwatch accounts and they would get banned every time because he was, he was a new player, like quote unquote new player because he had to make a new account. And he would play like Widowmaker and Soldier 76 and McCree, and his accuracy was above the norm, so he would constantly get his accounts banned within like 2 weeks. He was just churning accounts. And then we went to Warzone when it came out. And we did well there. Warzone banned his account briefly, but then they gave it back to him after review because they realized that he wasn't a cheater when they actually scanned his hardware. So even though that's a separate part of Blizzard, they did better about actually checking to make sure he wasn't a cheater. But their matchmaking system still, they didn't, it's not like shadow banning, but his accuracy and statistics were so high that they would match him with other cheaters, like they would put him in cheater lobbies. So we were having to deal with that. They also did a ton of false bans. Yeah, and honestly, it's really bad. Like the cheating problem has gotten so bad that they kind of just they ban everyone who has the potential to be a cheater because it's better for the general player base to just get rid of as many of them as possible, unless the person is already like a verified streamer in the community that they can have their account whitelisted. They kind of just ban anyone and everyone uh, that has like any potential to be a cheater if they get reported enough. And some of them they do review accounts and they give it back eventually. But like Blizzard specifically is really bad. Like Overwatch, just they would just send you an automated email like, sorry, we don't do reviews or whatever, or you violated our community guidelines kind of thing, and they would just wouldn't do the review. I think Apex was the only game that he just he never got banned in. But I mean, we not didn't end up really liking Apex that much because kind of just devolved into everyone hiding in houses by the end of the match. Like last circle, and there's like 14 teams left. Everyone's just hiding the whole game. That's no fun. You're running around doing nothing for most of the match. You might kill one team and then gotta wait for another 20, 30 minutes. Having to buy new CD keys to play online. Oh yeah. It gets annoying after a while. There's just so many things in FPS. Like the competitive community isn't, it's not like you can make a career out of it very much anymore. Like the Overwatch League kind of died, for example. Um, you kind of have to just be a content creator. That's how you make your money. And there's also other problems, right? Like he was a mouse and keyboard player, and most FPS communities are like controller only now. They don't even want people playing MNK. They pretty much only want controller. So you have like Apex is pretty much controller only now, especially because the aim assist is so strong that it's like aim cheats at close range almost. It's very close. I wouldn't call it aim cheats, but it's kind of it's a little bit stronger than it should be in my opinion. But so controller is just so consistent that most people play on it now. And Call of Duty as well. Call of Duty, Apex, Warzone, controller is king. The only one that's not is Counter-Strike. But Counter-Strike, a different type of FPS game. Counter-Strike and Valorant, they're very slow. We prefer like the fast-paced kind of games. So it's 7:30 in 1 minute. If we get any news. Well, control. Yeah, I mean, as much as we don't like controllers, they're here. They're kind of here to stay. As much as MNK players don't like controllers, and controller players don't like MNK players. I mean, I think controller is probably just the main mode for most FPS games now. Most people prefer controllers. I prefer MNK because I've always played on MNK, but that's a kind of a bias on my part. But I do think that controllers probably should have their aim assist in certain games, not all games, in certain games tuned down a little bit in close range. I'll give you an example of an actual scenario that happened. So I was curious, like back when I played Apex a long time ago. when Apex, if any of you played it when Wingman was still like god tier, like it was the weapon, like Wingman Peacekeeper, way back in the day. I had never played with a controller before. Like I'd never touched a controller, and I bought one because I was curious. And I picked one up and I plugged it into my PC and I hopped into an Apex game. And the first thing I did was grabbed a Wingman and a Peacekeeper and went on a 20 kill streak. Never playing with a controller before in my life. I was terrible, right? My movement was god awful. Like yes, I still had my instincts of like where I should be and at what time. But the fact that I can do that with a controller, never having played with it before, is a little bit ridiculous to me. I couldn't do that consistently, but I could still do it. I'm not really a good example of like what the average person can do with a controller, but um, I think there should be a little bit more self autonomy there. And my friend also, he used to play with controllers a lot back when the aim assist wasn't so good, and people could still get really good with controllers without that strong of aim assist. So it's not necessary for it to be that high. It just is right now. You made good scalps in KIDZ? Yeah. I'm just not interested in penny stocks. Not a part of my strategy, so I'm not going to force it. But at least you got your stake money today. Your coffee money. I mean, if this ends up breaking 21, I could try to trade it. Just really expensive. Spreads are going to be huge on it. They're already 25 cents. Well, 15 cents right now, but I could probably get up to 25. It's just a little bit too light volume and grindy right now. If it starts pulling away, maybe, but I don't know. I kind of rather wait for news. It's 7:35. We didn't get anything at 7:30. Just chilling. So this is on continuation. I'm not sure if I like my 10-second up top or my 1 minute up top better. I feel like it's throwing me off. I'm so used to my 1 minute chart being up there. I just thought I would try this because in the moment, on breaking news, it would kind of be helpful to have my volume bars a little bit closer to the bid. I don't have to look as far. I suppose it's really not that much of a difference. I'm probably just going to put it back. I hope so. Pay attention to BIYA here, I guess. Above 550. Level is high of day. You have to look at, when you're looking at high, I guess high of day, yes, high of the pre-market, but you have to look at the after hours high as well, up at 612. So the high of the stock recently was 612. Yeah, I think above 550 is good. I think 550, we might have a chance of reaching the after hours high too. Now we got a big selling candle there. I think we're still waiting. We have FIRY with a little bit of volume, 8 million share float. And FIRY, we are in a window all the way up to $20. Back from April 23rd. So the float and the price are a little bit higher in FIRY, but possibly if we can break that 1240, 1250 level, And we have potential of squeezing through the highs and maybe squeezing up on this window. It doesn't have any news. It is our leading gainer though, right now. CMND has news. It's only at 5% right now. Thanks, NCDs. Good luck to you too. No trade list? I think I remember CMND making a big move before because it is a biotech stock. Could be misremembering. Oh. I guess the daily chart doesn't look very nice, does it? It's just kind of a never-ending pit. To buy shares with dollar value? Let's see. Set a percent order, buy. Yeah, you can set up a hotkey for dollar value. It is possible. Okay, well, if you want to, in my description, there is a referral link. We both get $100 if you use the referral link. Up to you though. I put it there in case anyone wanted to use it. I don't have any affiliation with TradeZero or anything. Everyone gets a free referral link. If anyone has like a TradeZero account already, you can just go onto your account and it says at the top there, refer a friend. But I think we get $100 when you open an account and make one trade in it for free. Oh, if you already have an account, probably not. I think you need to open an account and make a trade with it. So oh, you don't have to. No worries. I just thought I would throw that out there. It is pretty slow morning. This says just continuing to creep up here. DFNS. It's close to being our leading gainer now. MACD just crossed over. I just don't like how expensive it is, how big the spreads are. Also, the volume is still pretty light on it. We've got 6 minutes to 8 a.m., so I'm going to wait for that. If this ends up breaking through 5-day, then maybe. Welcome, Crivers. On the left, it's Charts Watcher. That's my stock quote and news window for Charts Watcher. It's my scanner. Whenever I click on a scan, it'll just update. Okay, so this is starting to capture traders' attention. We got some increasing volume now. Like I said, though, I don't know if I'm going to touch this. It's too expensive. My price range is between $2 and $20 for the stocks that I like to trade. So it's right at the edge. Yeah, it did. Better than day trade dash. Hey Furkuro, it's going good so far. We're just waiting for an opportunity. Not sure if this is the opportunity though. Too expensive. Day Trade Dash is good. I wouldn't say that Charts Watcher is necessarily better. I think it depends on what stage you're at. Because Day Trade Dash is kind of like a pay and play type of thing. So for a beginner, even though it's really expensive, it might be worth it to buy it for a little bit and then use it and then kind of get a feel for how scanners work, because the scanners are, you get what you see, right? You can kind of set up what type of scanners you want, but none of the scanners are customizable. They're just based on Ross's strategy. So if you want to trade Ross's strategy and you're a beginner and you can afford the expensive price on it, and his scanners are also grouped with charting software too. You can just use his charting software. It's good, right? Like it has everything you need. It's customized according to Ross himself. He made the scanners, so that's good. But eventually speaking, you might want to move on from the Day Trade Dash scanners because they're really expensive, and two, you can't customize them at all. So once you get a little bit of experience with scanners, like Charts Watcher, for example, I can customize it to my strategy specifically if it's any different from what Ross trades. And I can set it up the way I like it with all the colors and everything that's visually appealing to me. And that's great. And then there's the point that you just mentioned. Yeah, like if you don't need the charts, then it's hard to justify the price tag for Day Trade Dash as well. Like Charts Watcher is much cheaper on its own when you just buy the advanced version just to use the scanners, or some similar version. And then Day Trade Dash, because Day Trade Dash for the scanners plus the charts is $200 a month USD, which for me is $280 Canadian a month. So we're on the backside of this move here from regular hours on WLDS. Very light volume. I don't think ENLV popping up here. Moving quickly. 58%. Still a little bit light volume. What's the news? 400 million private placement. So private placements are good or bad? We have to see what it does here. Where's it base out? So it's not holding VWAP there. So looks like this just ends up being a pop and drop for now. We'll see. Maybe it ends up curling back up. That is a large private placement dollar amount, but like sometimes private placements recently can be a little bit of a trap because you have to read in between the lines about what the terms of the placement are. So sometimes they end up popping and then just rejecting. Yeah, it's very, very cheap. There's also trade ideas. I haven't looked into trade ideas yet, but I do need to do that soon because if I want to do a video about my setup, then I need to know kind of what the options are so I can make a objective call about why I'm using Charts Watcher. To be honest, I'm just using Charts Watcher because I know that Trade Ideas is a little bit more expensive and I'm just trying to try things right now to save money. I can't say for sure that Trade Ideas isn't better. And I may want to switch to it in the future, but I think Charts Watcher is working pretty well for me right now. Feels good to me. TC2000? I haven't heard of that one. Yeah, we haven't really had much today, Fukuro. I don't think, like, if we're talking about my strategy, I don't think there's been a single opportunity yet. Like DFNS maybe, but it's just too expensive. $20, I'm good. I'm gonna note that on the side because um, I haven't heard of TC2000, so I need to look at that one too. You're already off, adversary? Or you just mean no trade so far? Oh yeah. As soon as you get up out of the seat, I'm gonna pop up 1,000%. Sure, I can explain my strategy. I mean, it's basically Ross Cameron's strategy. But what I'm doing right now, specifically, yeah, good luck, adversary. Or sorry, have a good day at work. Good luck to us. Yeah, I'll explain. But my strategy is basically Ross Cameron's strategy, but I pick out a few specific setups. But I'm actually focusing less on the setups right now as I am on my belief system in order to get rid of this hesitation. So I would say that my strategy revolves around an overall edge and 3 individual edges. So whenever I'm taking a trade, putting aside stock selection, right? We talk about stock selection in a second. But putting aside stock selection, what I'm asking myself in every single trade is the stock doing something out of the ordinary? Is it doing something extraordinary? And does it have more buyers than sellers? That is the strategy summarized in a nutshell. NXTC has news at 8:06. Text transport protein candidate for drug discovery campaign. I don't know how significant that is. NXTS. Looks like this one's a pop and drop too. Oh, well, Looks like it saved you on this one because it just did it again. Said, watch me, I'm gonna do it again. Did have a big gap up here back on the 22nd of June. 5 up to 24. This was a previous big mover. June 22nd. Yeah, I think this is that stock that. No, this is that stock that made a big move. Back here. I think I traded this one. Yeah, made a big move. I don't have any issue with the stock when I traded it. Sorry, I'll continue with my strategy. I had to pay attention for a second there in case this actually did pop up, do something. So the overall umbrella belief system of the strategy is the stock doing something out of the ordinary, and are there more buyers than sellers? And then you can break that down into 3 individual edges that you think about on every single trade. The first edge being, is it moving quickly? So for example, breaking news comes out, stock is moving quickly, it's up 50% already. That's one edge. There's generally going to be more buyers than sellers on something that's moving quickly. The second edge is it breaking high of day, or, you know, around high of day? Like, does it look like it's about to break high of day, or is it around high of day? So is it breaking out of high of day, or making new highs? That's the second edge. Third edge is it breaking out of a range? So like, is it breaking VWAP, or is it breaking out of consolidation, like it's like a pivot? So we want to be trading stocks when they're doing something out of the ordinary. They're not doing something normal, because you don't want to be trading in consolidation because you're going to be competing with algorithms and market makers and all sorts of bad stuff. You want to be trading it while it's moving, you know, has one of the 3 edges, but you can have all 3 of them, right? It could be moving quickly, it could be breaking out, and it could be making new highs. That's very strong if it's doing all 3 of those things. But I think about it in terms of edges right now, and your technical analysis is still part of it. Yeah, shorts, things are just popping and dropping, Fukuro. It's just kind of nasty. But I'm like, the technical analysis and stuff is still part of the strategy, right? That's true of every strategy, though. Like, you need technical analysis for every single strategy. But those are the 3 things that I'm looking for when I'm looking to take a trade. And the second thing that I'm looking as I'm getting into the trade right now, to kind of have my confirmation if everything is good, like if stock selection is good, the 5 pillars of stock selection that Ross uses, if that's good, because you need to be trading the right stocks to have an edge with this strategy. You know, it needs to be up a certain percentage on the day, it needs to be in the top leading gainers, because that's what traders are looking at. Needs to have a low enough float that it's not going to be a grinder. Needs to have relative volume, because that's kind of confirmation that it's not, trend isn't getting exhausted, or that it's not like a regularly traded stock, and that also reaffirms that the stock is doing something out of the ordinary, having high relative volume. And then the price range that we normally do well with. I mean, all that needs to be true. Technical analysis needs to be true. Support and resistance levels, you know, risk reward, all that stuff. That's all part of Ross's strategy and what most small cap traders know regularly, as well as identifying chart patterns and all that. You know, bull flag, ABCD, flat top break, all the chart patterns. But the belief system is what I'm trying to use right now to move past my hesitation. So I look at the volume profile. Are there more buyers than sellers? And is it doing something out of the ordinary? And if so, then you can buy in a pullback. That is the strategy, as quick as I can explain it. But there are specific chart patterns that I do sort of look for, that I prefer over others. Preferably the bull flag ABCD patterns, cup and handle, 5-minute breakout, and 1-minute micro pullback. Well, I'm bored. Let's look at what TC2000 is on the side while we wait. Okay, it's got charting. Positions. Oh, sure, I can. I just had it on my other computer. I can open it on this computer, though. Move here. Let's see. I'll just add it to the screen. Chrome. Oops. Web. There you go. I'll just add it there for now. I'll get rid of it when something pops up. I was looking at TC2000 here. Yeah, I hope so. Getting some Walmart news or something again. I think I've seen some people posting in Ross's community before, like screenshots using this software. So you can do a paper trading account with them. It's interesting. Keep a journal. Oh, notes. I'm guessing this is where you made your note about TMND, Tig. Trade multi-leg strategy is. Oh, it's in your Weeble. I mean, this little charting stuff. I mean, I do have to consider this over TradingView if it does have charting. Like I do have to consider whether or not this would be better than TradingView. Lots of indicators. I mean, what's the pricing? So I'm guessing, so the charting software is kind of built into this. So you can't just get the scanners. So it's about 41 bucks. This is in Canadian dollars, by the way, because I'm Canadian. So that's annual though. $50 monthly. I see QMLS popping up, but it's a 15 million or a 16 million share float almost. I think I'm leaving that one alone. It's only up 13%. Yeah, it's kind of choppy. I'm gonna leave it alone. We have basic, premium, and premium plus. What does premium plus get? Market pulse gauges. I think I would need that. And then it's also, I guess you also have to pay for extra data feeds if you want them. Encryption. Oh, that's just that. They're also a brokerage. So I wonder if TC2000, like, this might not be available in Canada, potentially. If it's a brokerage and I have to get the charting software and stuff, I might not be able to open an account with these. I'd have to look. It is? Okay. I mean, it looks a little bit older. Like, it doesn't look as visually nice as some of the newer scanners. I wouldn't say that's a problem. That's just preference. I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Why this would be better than Charts Watcher. I'd probably have to watch a video, like see someone's objective feedback about it, rather than looking at the website. And then we have, what was the other one? We have Trade Ideas, right? Yeah, it's going to be a little bit more expensive than Charts Watcher. Same with Trade Ideas is probably also going to be more expensive than Charts Watcher. What is this, AI buy signals? So there is Trade Ideas is doing something with AI, right? Oh, this is even more expensive, $89 a month for the basic. 10 charts, real-time data. Oh, well, that's not very good if the news source is bad, because that's very important to my strategy. The news is like, the catalyst is extremely important. Like how bad is it? Like what's the issue with it? Like, is it slow, or is it like, are the headlines not good? I don't need the AI stuff. Paper trading, brokerage chart, order management. Um, okay, what is going on with this? Why can't I click out? Huh? Very weird. Um, Stock analysis? I don't know what this is. Go back. Go back. Features, there we go, at the very bottom. Identify momentum. Dynamic top 10, single doc, streaming alerts, trading signals. Yeah, I'd probably need to like watch some videos about people's like condensed reviews on this. Here, they have a compared to trading view. Let's see. Yeah, it didn't look. Let's see what they say they do better than trading view for their charting. So, brother, I am still watching on the side here. I'm watching the scanners, and we do have news in a minute and a half, so I'm going to close this in a second, but there's nothing yet. But the Trade Ideas has AI powered signals, so I don't care about that. Real-time scanning. Partial? Well, I have scanners, so testing, partial, paper trading, yes, yes. So you're way more expensive. Cool. Free account. So this tells me that this is more expensive. Okay, let's compare it to what? Oh, Charts Watcher isn't even here. Oh, Stock Charts is another one I gotta look at. Yeah, I think I'll look at this later. Not really telling me anything off the bat. If I make a current setup video where I talk about like what I use, I'll probably just make the disclaimer that like this is my setup right now. I've only been trading for a year and I haven't had the opportunity to like try other stuff because I've mostly just been focusing on my improvement rather than like what software I use. I just don't like the trade zero charts, so I decided to trade with something else. And I don't like I got annoyed by the warrior trading charts because I couldn't, my drawings wouldn't save across multiple instances. So we're watching for 8:30 news right now. So this had 8:27 news. I can see or I can show you my desktop screens. Like I'll just do a window capture to show what my monitors look like. But I'm just gonna give it a second in case news pops up, something pops up for the next couple of minutes here. QMLS, ENLV. I mean, QMLS, yeah. Yeah, the float was too much on this. Too light volume. I saw this, but I didn't care about it. Too risky for me. think we're still kind of just waiting. Where's my Walmart news, Fukuro? I need my news. I don't see any Walmart news yet. We still got another 45 minutes. Another 3 chances. All right, doesn't look like we have anything, so I'm just gonna screen share. Go here. Go here. Not window capture. Where is display capture? I mean, this is what my primary monitor looks like with my level 2. Oh, nothing's up with Walmart specifically. We're just saying that we had Walmart and Tesla news yesterday, so we need another Walmart news to pop up today. Another news like Walmart, like mentioning a big name. That's my primary monitor. So like right in front of me. So bottom right, I have 4 monitors. That's bottom right. Just my scanners, my level 2, and then my chat right there. Right? Basically what you see on screen there. Except I have the extra like position windows and stuff you can't see on stream. And then my secondary monitor is my charts and my gainers. So like my low float top gainers, my stock quote window, my news, my leading gainers. And that's my continuation scanner up top there. And that's that. My top, that's bottom left, right? So the 2 are side by side, my level 2 and my charts. So like to the right of my charts is my other monitor with my level 2, so they're right beside each other. And then my top left, oh, that's my stream. My top left is just my charts, my side charts. So I just have 2 side charts with the daily, the 10-second, the 5, and the 1. I don't need very many side charts, and I could put an extra side chart on my top monitor. My top monitor is just my stream stuff for now, and if I do need another side chart, I'll put it up there or whatever. That's it. That's my setup. I'll turn that back off. No, if you get Charts Watcher, you have to. They have some stock, like some default ones. But I had to remake them to try and be similar to the Day Trade Dash scanners for Ross's strategy. I had Day Momo running up. The 5 pillar scans, I'll give credit to Eli for helping me with that. Eli7. That's his YouTube name, right? Yeah, Eli Trade 7 is his YouTube tag. He's a small content creator like me. He helped me set up my 5 pillar scan. I think he imported his scans from someone else, and then we just kind of adjusted according to Ross's strategy. You use Thinkorswim. Thinkorswim's pretty popular. Doesn't Thinkorswim like restrict trades and stuff sometimes though? Or maybe not. Maybe is Ross using his Thinkorswim for his current small account challenge? FIRY? Oops, clicked on the wrong one. There's no blue sky, but there is a big gap here. Hard to tell what price level that's at. Yeah, that is above 13. There's a big gap. It's not blue sky, but it is a large gap. If it can get up over high of day, over 13, and hold up, then it would become our top leading gainer, and it would have a chance to make a big move. Oh, that's right. Momentum Trader said that you Thinkorswim, you can like call them, or you might be able to get them to put you on a whitelist, let you trade anything you want, if I recall correctly. Oh yeah. Yeah, as Grace said. Oh, his name is Eli Trade 7. He hasn't been doing YouTube for very long. He's a newer trader like me as well. He posts some of his recap stuff. He's in the community I'm in. He doesn't live stream or anything. He just posts daily recaps. There he is. There you go. I was just telling them you had just popped in that because they were asking about the 5 pillars scan. I was just telling them that you were the one that helped me with that. He like posts where he gets his resources from too and stuff. Did Ross trade anything today? Let me open up his stream and check. I haven't opened up his stream for a few days, actually. I didn't open it. I actually didn't even think about Ross at all yesterday. Ever since I read that trading psychology stuff, I'm like, I don't even want to open Ross's stream half the time anymore. I just want to focus on what I'm doing. But I'll open it and check here. Let's see. Nope, Ross is still at no trades. Veto. He hasn't touched anything. Might be a no trade day for him too. I'm gonna close that back out though. I don't want him affecting my trades. Lots of pop and drops today. I think today, considering this is the third pop and drop that I've seen where it's done this really nasty. As Fukuro said, short sellers are kind of aggressive today. I think this is, if I'm gonna guess, this might be a no trade day. Because, I mean, this is not a good sign. Us smaller content creators gotta stick together here while we grow and learn. By the way, if there's anyone else here on YouTube or that does like content creation or YouTube stuff, feel free to like comment on my videos or like in the chat or whatever. And I'll probably send you a follow because I am interested in watching other content creators and stuff. Hey Rafi. What would Ross never allow? Oh, promoting other channels. I don't care. I'll promote anybody and everybody. Like in my Discord, there is a rule, no self-promotion, and I generally don't want people like coming into my stream and just like spamming or whatever. But so there is kind of a line that I want to tread here. But I mean, I do want to know about other content creators. Even if you just send me an email, like my email is in my YouTube. Just send me an email. Like I occasionally check my email. I don't check it regularly right now because I barely get anything. But like send me an email and I'll probably send you like a free subscribe on YouTube. Yeah, I'll check you out, Damien. You haven't started yet? You're gonna start it in August? Am I not taking trade today? If there's no opportunities, then I don't force trades, Rafi. So like I just make myself available to the market as they present opportunities for me according to my strategy. But if there's no opportunities, then I take no trades. That's kind of the way it works. Can't if I try to force myself onto the market, then I'm just gonna lose money because there's no edge here. Like there's if there's no edge, there's no trade. You've been thinking about starting a channel, Center Star? So there's a couple reasons why I decided to start a channel. The first one is because I felt like I wanted to hold myself accountable for things and it was kind of lonely just trading with no one really to talk to. I mean, there's Ross Cameron and his community and stuff, but Ross doesn't really talk to chat all that much. He just kind of sits there. And like he'll answer questions occasionally, but he has so many questions that he can't answer them all. So he's kind of just trading. And the community is nice, but I don't know. It's expensive too. You still kind of just feel like you're just another one of the plebeians when you're there. So I kind of wanted to do that. I wanted to have some accountability. I wanted to start a community of people to trade around. And I also wanted to start streaming when I was still unprofitable, if I ever become profitable, because if I gain viewers and I gain traction and subscribers, and then I can eventually have some success in it, then it's better to start earlier and be honest about everything during your journey so that when I do become successful later, if I want to start a channel later when I am successful, then people are going to start questioning, how you came out of nowhere and you're claiming to be profitable. You're just another guru. There's a multitude of reasons, but I mean it is better to start earlier than later, I guess. And then you can also use your stream as a way to look back on yourself and on your journey too. So like self-recording, watching yourself trade, and that whole kind of thing. But I think there's a lot of benefits to streaming. The one downside is that if you have a lot of people watching you, you're gonna feel pressure. So if you can't handle the pressure, it might not be good to like start a live stream. But maybe like a YouTube channel isn't as much pressure. Hey Amir, welcome. Yeah, Ross got me interested in trading too. He's a phenomenal educator and he puts a lot of energy into his videos. That's what got me into trading. It's been almost a year now. Just a few days and it'll be a 1 year anniversary for me. I noticed usually around noon some stocks will pump and continue into after hours. Um yeah, so normally according to a lot of the prop firms and people who trade regular market hours, there are specific times of the day where stocks usually have certain behavioral patterns. And I believe trading the opening bell until like 10:30 is one of the windows for a lot of traders, and they kind of take a break and then they come back for power hour. So there are some behavioral patterns there. I'm not as familiar with it because I don't have time to trade regular market hours. I have a job that I need to work. So yeah, it is pretty expensive. It's nice to hear his thoughts as he's getting into trades for a while as a beginner, and then kind of comparing yourself, like, am I over trading? Am I under trading? That type of thing. What I think is community is kind of more for educational, and like it is nice that some people post in the chat whenever a stock pops up, like if it's easy to borrow or something, or they have specific ideas. It is helpful, but it's more of that type of thing. How many members? It's hard to say, right? Just like just because they chat, like you can't really count off of the chat, right? There could be a lot of people logged in and not chatting, so I really can't estimate that. Like me, for example, I join, but I don't really chat that much. So I mean, VTIX, 20 million share float, slightly popping up, not enough volume. I'm good. This is a penny stock. This is the only thing that's kind of grinding right now. I'm good. I don't like trading pennies. I mean, this still has potential if it can get over 13. So I think we're just watching this. Fiery pulled out half. Thanks. Yeah, Momentum Trader does Reddit posts. What's the most I've made in a day? I have to look at my trader view for that. I think it's a hundred more than $100, but I don't trade with very big size. Uh, Ports. My largest gain was 150 bucks in 1 day. Well, that's my largest in a single trade. In a single day, $180 a single day. Trading with like 50 to 100 shares. It doesn't happen very often, as you guys can tell. But even What's the saying? Even a broken clock is right twice a day. If I were to go all in, so I'm supposedly not supposed to risk more than 2% of my account size on any given trade if I can help it, unless I have a cushion. But if I have a cushion, like a big cushion, and I want to take bigger share size, my maximum position size would depend on the price of the stock and its ranges, right? So I can't say across the board there's a same share size. It depends on what the price is. But I can give you general guidelines. Like for example, for a $1 stock, probably my max position size might be 800 shares if I were to go all in. Just open up my guidelines here for that. So 800 shares for anything below $2 is max. 400 shares is max between like $2 and $4 or $2 and $5. $5 and $6 is 300 share max. 7 and 8 is 200 share max, and over 9 is like 80 shares. And the reason for that is because usually when you start getting higher price, like when you're lower price below $2, the stock moves very slowly. It's very thickly traded. So you can risk more share size because your downside risk is gonna be lower. You you risk 5 cents to make 10 cents, right? On a $1 stock. If it's between 2 and 5, it's gonna move a little bit faster, but it's still gonna move just not quite as fast as like a $5 to $8 stock. And then once you start getting over $9 to $10, that's when you start having bigger ranges. But it also depends on the float as well, and at what stage the stock is in its consolidation. If it's popping up fresh and it's pulling back in $1 ranges, then I might trade it like it's a $10 stock or $9 stock. It just depends, right? Whatever you're risking, you have to take that into account. I cannot. There's also the fact that like my account size is only so big. I can't trade 800 shares on a $10 stock. Unless I use margin, but I don't think I even have that much margin. We're on the backside of a move on STAK. Bounce off the lows. Probably not the right stock to trade. So FIRY looking to break over this pivot here. I certainly would if I had the ability to do that, because trade zero unfortunately doesn't really have that information very much. It, it will occasionally have an S, but most of the time, compared to other brokers, TradeZero Canada doesn't really have that information. So whenever I was in Ross's community, uh, traders would frequently post whether the stock is easy to borrow or not, and I would try to take that into account. But I don't even have his community or his stream open right now, so I don't really have a way to check that, unfortunately. Or I would take that into account if I could. So yeah, I guess the answer is no, as of right now. Have a good one, Fukuro. Nice discipline there. It's probably going to end up being the same for me. See you tomorrow. All right, so just breaking out. FIRY. $4,000 share, 5,000 share seller popping up there on the ask. It's still very light volume. I would like to see this pick up in volume before I take any trades on it. Oh, it is easy to borrow? Yeah, that's not good. It is still our top leading gainer though. So I would still probably consider it if it broke 13 because we're in a huge gap above 13. Even if it is a little bit more, well, a little bit more expensive, easy to borrow, would be a bit choppier. I don't know. Maybe it is a no trade day. Well, I would have to see this thing like pull away and start gaining a bunch of volume for me to be interested. Yeah, it's just being a grinder right now. Now I'm sitting tight here. I'm not discounting that we could have news at 9:15 because it happened before and it caught me off guard. It could happen again. I will forever remember VIVK. What's going on here? Still very light volume. That's a nope. Ooh. So before I forget, um, let's see. So before I forget, I am going to subscribe to Damien Trades. No pressure if you decide not to start a channel, but I'm just going to subscribe to you ahead of time, okay? So that I can see when you do start posting videos. DIYA, trying to come back up again. Above 550 maybe. Yeah, for sure. No problem. So if you click on the cog on Trade Zero, let me just make sure you can see this if I open it. No, it doesn't show you. But if you open up, you know what? I'll just switch this. Wrong display, primary monitor. Okay. So preferences in the window tab there. Like if you click on this cog here on the level 2, it opens up your preferences. You can check off use Arial font. I choose the old classic for like the color scheme, but you can choose Sterling Green or New Zero Pro if you prefer a different color scheme. And then you go to the colors tab here on the top left. Click on that. You can change the font size for the top text color. And you can change the font to Arial Black. That's what I use. Arial Black is more bolded than just regular Arial. I don't think there's a specific option to make it bold. It's just the font is Arial Black. It seems a bit more bolded. I only recently found this out too. Recommendation to use Arial Black. That's yeah, I use the Charts Watcher scanners, but I had to edit them to be similar to the Day Trade Dash scanners for the strategy. So it doesn't come like this default. I had to finagle them, figure out how they work. So 9:15 came and went. There's nothing going on. The only two stocks I'll be looking at will be FIRY and BIYA. FIRY is a bit more expensive. Getting close to high of day here at 13. But this stock is easy to borrow, something to keep in mind. I do have to test the ChartsWatcher charts to see if they're worth using. The reason is because I paid for a 50% discount on the year-long sub on TradingView a while back, because TradingView regularly does discounts on their charting. But right now I only have the advanced version of ChartsWatcher since I'm only using their scanner, so I'm paying less for ChartsWatcher than paying for like an upgraded version of the charts with increased tick rates and stuff. So I'm kind of like yeah, I have a mishmash of them both, like using their discounted versions, I suppose you could say. Also, there's a desktop connector for ChartsWatcher that lets you connect straight to TradingView. So whenever I click on a scan, it just automatically opens up the ticker, which is nice. So this is breaking out. I'm just not sure about it because I know that it's easy to borrow and it's a higher price stock. And it's close to market open. Yeah, when my TradingView sub ends, maybe I'll look into it. Or when it's getting close to ending, maybe I'll look into whether ChartsWatcher charts are worth using. But I do really like the visual look of TradingView. But I also have to consider other charting software too. I have to do my due diligence as a content creator because everyone's gonna continue asking me, right? Like, why do I use these specifically? Like, I just don't like TradeZero charts, so I decided to use another charting software for a while. I did use Daytrade Dash for a little while, but I ended up preferring TradingView over Daytrade Dash. Have a good one, Grace. Yeah, I'm planning on doing a video like that soon, where I talk about my scanners and my setup and my hotkeys and all that. Someone else asked me in my YouTube comments recently to do that, and I plan on doing that. I've just been uh, busy recently. But I'll get to doing that soon. Probably by this weekend. It's the app with the news on the left side is ChartsWatcher. It's just their news scanner. You can integrate TradeZero with TradingView. They have an API. Yeah, I'm aware of that. but the reason why I don't connect it right now is because I prefer to keep my platforms separate. This is literally just a preference thing. So if I need to stop trading with TradingView temporarily for some reason, maybe TradingView is not working, for example, then I have TradeZero if TradeZero is not working, then I have the TradingView charts working on their own, so I can just swap to a simulator or I can swap to Webull. I don't have to finagle a whole bunch of things. So if I sit down to stream for the day and, my broker isn't working for whatever reason, then I can just swap it. Or if TradingView isn't working for whatever reason, then I can just swap it. Or if my scanners aren't working for whatever reason, then, well, my scanners are kind of important, but you get what I'm saying. Well, let's say make sure I didn't miss any questions. Software on the software, do the scanners have a ping sound? Yes, they do. I just mute that for stream because I know people don't want to hear my stream pinging constantly. People are going to be playing their own music and stuff. People are going to be doing their own thing while they're listening on the stream. So I keep all my desktop audio muted so you guys don't have to hear that in OBS. But it's pinging in my ear, like I can hear it, right? So BIYA, like we're 2 minutes to market open. I generally make it a rule not to trade this close to market open, or I would consider taking a position here. But it can be very dangerous when it's this close to market open. So I'm just going to leave it and give it some time and see what BIYA and FIRY do at the open. I can't trade the first 3 minutes of the open because my TradeZero just lags. So I'm just going to leave it. But BIYA is breaking above this pivot right here. If it holds 550, then it could have potential to squeeze higher. And it's sort of forming a bit of a bull flag pattern there as well. How to make the account number show. So if you go to your TradingZero settings, it's under your general preferences. Under settings, so you can go to general preferences settings. That's on the top bar, right, like at the very, very, very right next to system. Then there's under the settings tab, there's account, hide account name. And of course, I have to hide my account name because I don't want my full account name available. That's half of my login information. An Audible scanner, spitting out tickers. Yeah, Eli, when he recommended me to set up the 5-pillar scan, he recommended to use the text-to-speech feature in ChartsWatcher. So whenever something is popping up in the 5-pillar scan, it's like yelling at me what the ticker name is, so that I'm not like distracted and I'm like, okay, well, I gotta get zoned in here. So it is useful having the audio and the text-to-speech kind of yelling at you. Yeah, no problem, Lauren. A load of green on the tape on FIRY. I didn't notice anything. You can look back at my stream because I had the FIRY open on with the time and sales at the time that you're talking about, Ben. So FIRY just completely tanked. We'll see. Maybe it does a red to green move there, bouncing off of 1240. G knows. DFNS did? That's surprising. I thought this thing would just sell off. It's kind of been consolidating all day, I guess. Too expensive for me, though, I think. Alright, so BIYA is coming up to high of day here. Around 612, 613, I think. Is it halting? Let's see what it does. Does it hold 6? Well, let's see if it gives us a 1-minute pullback. The bottom of that candle was 590. We're kind of doing an ABCD pattern. I'll take a position. Stop is about 610. Can with a squeeze up 650. It's stalling out a little bit. I'll give it a little bit of time. It's only 20 shares, so I can afford to give it a little bit of time here. The stop is 610. Highs on the bid. Just making sure I'm not losing focus. We'll see if it pops up here. I might just take profit because we're stalling out. Yeah, I'm just going to try and get out on the ask if I can here. We're stalling out. It pops up right as I take profit. That's annoying. But I see sellers popping up there. There's a 5,000 share seller there. So I'd rather just get out, break even, and not care. We're kind of grinding up. When we did that ABCD pattern, what I expected to happen was I expected it to just kind of break through and go into a halt up, right? Because we bounced off of that high of day level. Higher volume buying, lower volume selling. So this was a part of my patterns. And we didn't pull away, so I just decided to get out before we form this topping tail and we dump, I guess. Could have been a little bit more patient, I suppose, but I just don't like how it's grinding up here like this. Nice job, Tig. Oh, nice job, Lauren. That's a big winner. 566. Yeah, that was probably a good entry for the break. Yeah, for the break of the pre-market high there, 566. Yeah, that was a good entry. Another entry to consider here, if you're fast enough, would be this micro pullback on the 10 second at around 585, 590. But I had to wait for the, according to my rules, I wait for, or I guess this wasn't the pre-market high, was it? Yeah, it was the pre-market high. Not the after hours high, but the pre-market high. I have to wait for the first few minutes just to make sure I'm not lagging, so I can't take that trade, unfortunately. But this ABCD pattern was definitely a part of my setups, and I did take it. So I'm proud that I took that because that's one of my setups. It just didn't work, which is fine. It didn't pull away. We broke even on the trade. INF LF halted up. Oh yeah, that's surprising. Very light volume going into the halt. When does this resume? INLF. This resumes at 42.14. I probably won't trade a dip and rip on this. Because we're still on the backside of this big move from back here as well. Made a move, popped for, dropped for a few days, came back up. The last news was June. I'm not sure what this is going to do. This is a Chinese stock. It did have a 400,000 shares of volume into this pop. I don't know what this is going to do. Oh, DFNS is really going crazy. Hi, Marks. What is the model of my trading PC? Well, I have a gaming PC. I built my PC for gaming, not for trading. So it's very high end. Because I used to be a competitive gamer, but I have a GTX for my graphics card. I have a GeForce GTX 4080. I have a for my CPU Intel. I can't remember. It's a higher end Intel. It's like 4th gen or something. 11,300K or something. 32 gigabits of RAM, 2 terabytes of storage. I suppose those are the important specs. My main monitors have like a higher refresh rate. It can go up. My main monitor can go up to 360, but I can't use all of the refresh rate for that graphics card when I have 4 monitors running. So it's a lower refresh rate. I think it's like 244. This one's like one. My one on the left is like 144 or something. Oh, look at that. It's going straight into another halt up. Pretty crazy. Very nice, Lauren. I used to play Counter-Strike Source a long time ago, but I never really got into CS2. I preferred most of the higher action FPS games like Apex, Warzone, Fortnite. I didn't play Fortnite very much, but and Overwatch. Buy DFNS and hold. If you bought DFNS and held, what is it at? What did it start at? On the 24th, it started all the way down at like $4. Yeah. $4 up to this might even go up to $40 today. Who knows, right? Pretty crazy. It's too expensive for me up here though. I can't trade it now. Have a good one, Lauren. How long have you been in this wild world? It's our 1 year anniversary starting in August. So I opened my first brokerage account back in August, just trading 5 or 10 shares, August 25, 2025. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to take any more trades. I see these are all halting up, but I don't particularly like trading dip and rips that much. I will do them sometimes, but they're they're just a bit more gambly because of like there's no patterns here, right? It's just ripping up and then the point that it reverses is when buyers start panicking. So it's just kind of like gambling on when buyers are going to start panicking. Other than, I mean, the only other indicator would be daily levels. Like if you look at daily levels to see how far it could go up before short sellers start getting aggressive. Like this could go up to 7, maybe. I don't know. But I just prefer trading pre-market or trading actual patterns than buying dips of halts. Did I have a mentor? I guess you could call Ross Cameron my mentor. I mean, I learned everything from him to start. Like I bought his courses and I learned everything I could from him, and then I learned extra things from other well-known traders in the space and like some of the prop firms that post YouTube videos. So whatever information I could get from other people that I know is reliable, I take. But I suppose Ross Cameron, with the trading style that I'm using right now, would be my mentor, if you could call him that. So we got everything's halting up, everything's going crazy. WLDS, DFNS, INLF, everything's halting up. EGG, only Fiery is sold off now. But there's going to be a lot of like halting up, halting down, halting up, halting down. Free version? You mean when you buy the Warrior Pro, or like are you planning on buying the Warrior Pro or just buying the Warrior Basic? Yeah, you're in the trial right now, but it only has 6 chapters. It probably only shows you the first 6 chapters of the basic, right? So if you buy the basic, they probably give you access to the rest of the basic. But if you buy the pro, you get extra content, like you get his live trading archives. There was a stream that I did last week, if you can find it. I don't remember day it was, but I actually went through on stream like what he offers in his courses. You buy the pro. I don't remember what day that was. I'll look. Let's see. It might have been, that was either Thursday or Friday of last week. Or maybe it was Wednesday. I'll look on Thursday first. Where are we? Yeah, that was on this day. So if you go to this July 24th stream, I show everything. Like, I don't show what's in the courses, but I show what he offers. So if you're looking to buy it, you can go and check that out. Why don't I do shorting? Because I don't like the unlimited liability potential. It's outside of my risk tolerance. So I'm not sure if you're aware of what I mean. But like, for example, if I put 2,000 into account and I go long here, I take a max position up here at $6 or 572 and it goes to 0, the most I can lose is $2,000. But if I take a short position on this and this goes up to, let's say, for example, $100, if I take a max position on this and it goes up to $100, like we're talking hundreds of thousands in debt. And stocks have done that before in small caps. Have a good one, Vito. I've seen stocks, well, there's an example of a video on Ross Cameron's YouTube channel where he was looking at shorting a stock that was at $2, like a Chinese stock that looked like it was dropping, and then it suddenly halted up and resumed at $500 a share in a halt where you can't exit. So if you had a position in that, if you had 1,000 share short position, when the stock halts up and resumes at $500, your broker is going to liquidate you. They're going to do a margin call on you. You're going to instantly exit the trade without your permission because the the resumption price exceeds your marginal capacity. So to manage their own risk, they're going to automatically press the buy button and cover you, and then you're going to owe the broker, 1,000 shares times $500. You can do the calculation. It's an absurd amount of money that you would suddenly owe the broker. And things like that have happened to people in the small cap space. So it's out of my risk tolerance for something like that to ever happen. Like, I'm never going to give the market an opportunity to ever do that to me. So I'd rather just put 2,000 into account, be long biased, and not have to worry about that. That's much less of a worry in the large cap space doing shorting, because stocks are regularly traded. There's so many buyers and sellers, and the stock only moves so much in either direction usually, that shorting in the large cap or like the S&P 500 or places like that, like, that's not really a concern. But in small caps, it can be very dangerous. Me myself, I have seen situations where a Chinese stock trading below $1, like trading at 40 cents, suddenly popped up to $20 instantaneously due to an algo spike. Anyone who was short on that at 40 cents would have immediately gotten margin called. And with a small price like that at 40 cents, you can buy 1,000 shares easily. For $400, you buy 1,000 shares. It pops up to $20 instantly, and if you get covered all the way at the highs, like $20 times 1,000 shares, you're down $20,000. It's too risky for me. So I just prefer long bias trading. Thought about trading anything other than small caps? Yes, I have. I've watched some streamers trading trading futures and options, and I've watched some large cap traders. And I think that it's a lot more difficult in those spaces to make money, because you need a bigger starting account size. Like I would need to fund a 50K account probably to be able to trade any decent sort of share sizes in those spaces to make any significant progress, which, once again, like, I don't really want to do that right now. That is a little bit outside of my risk tolerance. And as well, I mean, you're competing with algorithms and big hedge funds. The competition is a lot stronger in large caps. It's going to be more difficult than the niche we have here in small caps, where those big hedge funds and algorithmic traders, like, there's still algorithms here, but not as many. They're not going to want to touch small caps because they can't move in and out with big size, since the floats are so low. Like, if they have $10 million or $100 million in their account, if they try to buy any significant size to utilize that account, they're going to be buying the entire float of the stock. So they can't really do that. So we're kind of the raccoons of the market. We're picking up the scraps. There's less competition here that you have to deal with. And I feel like small caps suits my strengths, because I am familiar with a keyboard and using hotkeys and stuff, because of my history of gaming, competitive gaming, and my familiarity with the computer, being able to make quick reactions. So I feel like over the long term, small caps would be the more suitable place for me, especially starting with a small account. I don't have to put $50,000 and fund an account to trade small caps. I can just start with small size and then learn and build it as I gain more experience. Momentum trader, I'll never short. Never. That's how I feel. I'm never touching shorting. I don't I don't care. I'm not doing it for a YouTube video. It doesn't matter. I'm never doing it. If someone knocked on your door and said, would you take $100 a day from us, but there's a 1% chance that you could lose everything you own and never be able to trade again, would you take that $100 a day? That's kind of how short selling is to me. Like, yes, you can make money, but you're eventually going to get blown up if you don't. One, you don't know what you're doing. Two, there's a lot of traders that still get blown up just because they get struck by lightning. Maybe they do everything right, but then just by off chance, they suddenly get caught in an algo spike they couldn't do anything about. They get margin called and liquidated. I wouldn't take the money. But it would be a different story if I was trading large caps. I would consider short selling for large caps, because that 1% chance becomes infinitesimally small. To the point where, like, there'd probably be a higher chance of me walking out into the street and getting struck by lightning than having that happen in large caps. Like, if you're trading the right stocks. You know, unless you somehow get caught in a Trump tweet. Right? I agree with you, momentum trader. Yeah, you do have to remember for sure. That's something that I have to keep in mind as well, is after the second pullback, the stock starts becoming a little bit extended. So it becomes riskier to buy up there. So usually the ideal scenario, I think, is like you make money on the first two pullbacks or as the stock is squeezing up, and then maybe the third or the fourth pullback, you trade smaller size as it starts getting riskier. But you made money on the first two, so you can afford to take the risk on the third. You trade smaller size, so you don't lose it all back, and then you wait for consolidation. And if it continues to hold up, then you can go back to trading with regular size as it finishes its consolidation, maybe curls back up. I think that's probably the ideal scenario. But I've just been rambling. I think I'm not going to take any more trades. I think I'm done for the day. My one opportunity, I didn't hesitate on it. I punched the button. We did what we needed to do. It didn't pull away, so we just ended up breaking even on it. That's completely fine by me. Otherwise, it was a pretty successful no trade day. I'm not trading any of these halts because it just feels like gambling to me. So I think I'm done. Yeah, same here, momentum trader. Everything's just halting up and down. I'm good. I'm gonna go to work. Take care. Yeah, whenever I buy into a halt, like I could see it halt up 8 times in a row, and it'd be like, well, it went up 8 times. I could buy the 9th, right? If I buy you know, if it worked 8 times, got to work the 9th time. Then you buy the 9th time, and it halts down like $10, and then you're just smoked. So I'm good. I don't need that on my plate right now. I think I just want to come back tomorrow, pre-market, and you know, do the pre-market thing. Things are moving as you can predict, or try to. But all right, have a good day, everyone. I'll be back at it tomorrow, 7 a.m. Eastern time. Until then, take care, stay green, manage your risk, and I'll see you tomorrow.